So let's start with today because we want to get to the bigger races tomorrow. But anything today that you love?
Yeah, in the juvenile turf sprint, I like the number 7 horse Shards, who's 15-1 on the morning line. This feels like a wide open race where you're going to get a price. I'm looking down just at my notes here to make sure I get the names of the races right and the program numbers right. The juvenile filly race is a tough race to bet because the morning line favorite Tamara really didn't work out well in her last work. There are rumors about her potentially scratching. So follow that. It's definitely a race where if she does run, you probably want to take a chance and try and beat her. I think if you look at the juvenile filly turf, the number 6 horse Porta Fortuna looks really good. Maybe an exacta box with the 14 Le Pavot might be in play. I have boots on the ground in Southern California, and I'm told in the juvenile, the number 4 horse Timberlake looks like a picture of health and looks fantastic. So you might want to take a look at number 4 horse Timberlake, Brad Cox's horse. I believe he's 4-1 in the morning line. And then the juvenile turf, the number 9 horse Endlessly from Mike McCarthy, I believe is unbeaten so far, and I think at a good price, he's got a chance to continue that unbeaten start to his career.
Wow, I ask a question. Do you have any horses today? And I get a dissertation on them. Yes, absolutely, you do.
You wanted picks, and me and Enzo were going to give you picks.
Yeah. Do you do a pick 5 tomorrow? Do you even delve into that?
Tomorrow. Today
as well. Okay.
Today and tomorrow, absolutely.
What about tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're going to go down. If you're a bettor you're looking to get, you don't care about 5, 6, 7, 8-1 double digits long shot. If you're looking just to make one bet and you turn around, you're happy getting 2-1 or 5-2 on your money. In the filly mare turf, the number 6 horse In Spiral, that horse, she looks like she has to fall down to lose. In Italian, Chad Brown's horse will be on the lead, but I'm not sure she gets a mile and a quarter. So I think the number 6 horse In Spiral is someone who, if you're looking just to make one bet and you don't care about how much you're making, 2-1, 5-2 on your money's good. That's the horse for you to play.
Top hope for the Europeans, Kelley. Top hope for the Europeans in that race.
Wow, look at you. And the horse that would have been the top hope for the Europeans, I think, in the next race, the mile, favorite Master of Seas, drew out in the parking lot. So the horse is going to have to overcome a lot. So I'm not getting involved there. I think in the turf, maybe is a chance to price horse with the number 2 horse Inesto is someone to take a look at. The classic, I do like Barrio, who may be the favorite in this race now, that the Belmont winner Arcangelo has scratched, unfortunately. So take a look at the board. Maybe if Barrio is too short, I'll look for a price there. The Turf Sprint is a horse that I think is going to draw in because of a couple of scratches. The number 13 horse, One Timer. We'll see if Edzo, kind of a hunch play maybe for him as well. That horse may draw in for Larry Rivella. If so, I think that horse has a good chance. And then I'm hearing from more than one person that the number 2 horse, Dr. Shivel, in the sprint is a good thing. And I know he was at 5-1 on the morning line. Probably won't get that on him. But we get 4-1 or so on Dr. Shivel. I'll be happy to take that.
You putting all these in the newsletter, Kelley? All of them? Kelley's like, oh no, why did you mention that out loud?
Yeah, pretty much.
I saw him writing names down there before. He was being a good producer and doing his homework.
All of those in chronological order, by the way, from Chris in terms of the docket tomorrow, race by race at the Breeders' Cup. We're equally excited to have this gentleman on the show right now. He's NBC Sports horse racing handicapper and analyst, obviously a former NHL player as well. It's the great Eddie Olczyk. How you doing, Eddie? Nice to meet you.
Gill, Kelley, nice to talk to you guys. How are you?
Doing very well. This is quite the weekend for horse racing fans. We just had Chris Fallica on last segment. We did it chronologically. I want to start with the big races with you first, so we get those in. And let's start with the Breeders' Cup Distaff tomorrow, which is 5:10 p.m. Eastern post time. And I just want to sort of give you what I have anecdotally sucked in from this, which is I go from capper to capper, analyst to analyst on this, and they're like, oh, this race to me, I can't believe no one sees that, horse X is absolutely the horse to bet. And I've gotten Clarier on that. The other one that comes up on this a lot in this particular race is, I want to say, what is it, Mischievous? What's the one with the Mischievous on there?
Pretty Mischievous.
Pretty Mischievous, yeah. Well, how about you? How do you feel about this race? Is it as clear cut to you as it is to others?
I I think the most clear-cut, Gill, for me is that they're on paper, and sometimes on paper, and when humans get on the back of horses that have their own minds, they decide to do their own things, and it doesn't play out the way that you think, these equine athletes. But there is a lot of speed in this race. So to me, the faster they go, the better it is for a horse, like you said, Clairiere, who threw in a really, there's no other way to say it, just a brutal race at Saratoga. Now, the race wasn't an off track, so I think that played into it for sure back in August. But, she's a mare that comes flying more times than not, and the faster they go, the better it would be, trained by Steve Asmussen and, of course, ridden by Joel Rosario. To me, the key to the race, Gill, and we're going to talk about this on our NBC and USA Network broadcast all weekend, is, to me, the key to the race is who's your filly on the rail with Luis Saez and Tom Amoss. She's putting blinkers on. Back in her earlier days, she was earlier days as a 2-year-old and an early 3-year-old, I should say. She was very, very quick. And it looks like, to me, the only way that she can win and be a part of this thing is that if she gets aggressive. So how is that going to play into idiomatic and a dare manner and randomize and search results? So, what horses can be tactical, what horses can be adaptable when all of a sudden they're going eye to eye for a half a mile or 5/8 of a mile, and then does the speed come back? So look, I would agree with everybody that you've talked to, and kind of the sense is that you probably could go 4 or 5 different ways. But for me, I look at Clairiere to, I don't want to say sit the trip, but be the horse that, if I believe, and I do, is that this race is going to collapse where the speed doesn't go wire to wire. Somebody from just off or way out of it comes up and picks up the pieces. So race 7 tomorrow, and I will say this, the fine folks at First Bet and Express Bet, which I'm not sure if you can wear out an app on your phone, but I have a pretty good chance of wearing out my app on my phone this weekend. This race is going to get a lot of attention and a lot of cash thrown its way, because I think you're going to have a lot of opinions in this race. I think the favorite will end up being Idiomatic, the 4-horse. But long-winded, I would say, is that I see a lot of speed in this race, and the key to the race. If the 1 isn't on the lead, then I really won't have any idea what the hell happened. So I'm banking on the 1 at 20-1 with Luis Saez trying to get to the lead, and then somebody coming and picking up the pieces late.
Speaking of attention, the Breeders' Cup Turf, which follows that, may be the most attention of any race, if you can say that about a non-Breeders' Cup Classic race, Breeders' Cup weekend. The Breeders' Cup Turf is, I said it earlier, 5 of the top 20 horses by rankings anywhere on the planet are in this, regardless of service. Yeah. If you're going to win a pick 5 tomorrow, maybe this is the one you really got to get. What do you think about the Turf tomorrow?
To me, it's a capital A, capital L, capital all race if you're playing. I really look at it, and I'm not embarrassed to say this. Like the one thing that I don't have a lot of confidence in is these Euros, the European horses, the Japanese horses that come in and don't have a great feel for style and class that they're running against over there. The American horses, that's easy because I live that every day. But, this is I think you're right. This is a absolute wide open race. I think the best North American entrant that we have is the 8-horse Up to the Mark for Todd Pletcher and Irad Ortiz. Be interesting to see how this race ends up getting running. A lot of people think that there are a Euro or 2 that have a incredible shot, but, let's say maybe just the inconsistencies is the biggest question mark. I don't think there's that dominant Euro that we've seen come over in the Breeders' Cup Turf before. And again, look at, they're running for $4 schmil. $4 million on the line. So they're not just coming for a little holiday in Southern California. So honestly, to me, I tried. I want to for sure. I'll probably tread very lightly when it comes to getting my feet wet on that race, but it's an absolute wide open race. I could not talk anybody off a horse in there because I don't have a real strong opinion in that race. But I agree with you. It is absolutely as good as it gets and as wide open as it is, because you could ask 10 people and you might get 8 different horses out of the 10 people.
All right, and then what about the Classic, which obviously, famously, Tuesday scratch of Arcangelo, so we have a new favorite here in Arabian Night, but We have other horses, a couple others that are right there. Ushba Tesoro, White Averlo. What do you like here?
Yeah, well, I see. Like, I guess the biggest question is, Gill, is that the biggest question is who is going to put the pressure on the 12-horse Arabian Night for Bob Baffert and Flavien Prat? I don't. My gut feeling is that I don't know if there's anybody as quick as this horse. Now, if he gets looked in the eye, will he just back up and then all of a sudden, the late horses start, that come from behinders end up, going. There is a lot of movement on a Japanese horse, the 8-horse Ushba Tesoro. A lot of people like Saudi Crown, who won the Pennsylvania Derby in the slop. I mean, it was an awful track, but went wire to wire. A lot of people feel that the 6 Saudi Crown is going to put pressure on the Arabian Night. And I would just tell people, your viewers and listeners out there, Gill, is that, like, to me, the number I want people to hear when you're hearing Larry Colmus, who's the voice of the Breeders' Cup for NBC, when you hear him he'll give a half a mile, how fast they're going in a half a mile, and then he'll give a 3/4 of a mile note. He'll give the time. When he says 3/4 of a mile in, I believe is that they have a chance to go in 110 and change. If they go faster than 110, if they're in the 109, or if they're 110 flat, to me, that's a good sign for horses that will come from off the pace. So for me, full disclosure, I've been on the Arabian Night bandwagon from day one. And the other horse that I've been on all summer and said to myself that he's going to be my Breeders' Cup Classic horse, regardless, is going to be the 13 Proxy with Joel Rosario. He's proven at Santa Anita. I think he's going to sit a really good trip. So the faster they go, the better it would be for Proxy. And, the other hot horse here is White Abarrio, the 3-horse for Dick Dutrow, who just destroyed the field at the Whitney at Saratoga back in August. So I think early you're going to see Arabian Night. I think you're going to see Saudi Crown. It's going to be interesting what Bright Future does with Johnny Velasquez for Todd Pletcher. So I think the faster they go, the better. And then I mentioned the Japanese horse, who really quick was running on turf pretty much his whole life, and was running okay, not great, but all of a sudden decided, let's put him on dirt. And all of a sudden, the last 7 races is win. And this horse won the Dubai World Cup for $12 million in Maidan back in March. So I think he's going to be one of the favorites, the 8-horse Ushba Tesoro. But I see this race going quick, and the quicker they go, the better it will be for Proxy. So Proxy will be getting the majority of my attention tomorrow on my Express Bet account, on my first bet account.
All right, Proxy from Eddie Olczyk. Eddie's going to have a suggested $25 wager ready, offering a free $25 bet for person signing up at first.com/bet using the promo code EDZO25. Eddie, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You guys have a great weekend. Thanks for having me.
You too. Eddie Olczyk on both USA's coverage today, and then USA and NBC tomorrow on the Breeders' Cup.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.